What's up, everybody? Master Reactor here, and I have a replay for y'all today. Let's see. I fucked up game one because when you play when you're high, things happen. All right. I did try to say it was a misclick. It didn't work, so I just scooped it up game one because I knew I was gonna clap his ass up the other two, so it really didn't matter. And that's exactly what happened. I have lost 2 in a row. I've lost pretty much every single rock, paper, scissors except for this one right here that I'm about to show. So that's pretty damn funny. I've been on a really bad losing streak on RPS. But it is all good, so let's see what happened. Oh, I lost this one too, of course. So the only one I won was the last game, I guess. So I got dicked on here too. So he opens Legendary Ocean, Graceful, Duo, Vortex, Mirror Force, and Abyss Soldier. And I've got Double Faith, Thunder Dragon, Book, and Chaos Sork. So I have the fucking dirt. So it really doesn't matter. I mean, there was really no reason I could have won this game. But I actually could have won it if I didn't fuck up. So y'all are going to see. He sets Mirror Force and passes. So I draw on a Duo. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I fire the Duo on his ass. And I roll a 5 first. And then I re-roll. And roll a 3 and get his Graceful Charity. Get that shit out of here. And he throws out Legendary Ocean. So he's playing some water shit. I discard the Thunder Dragon. And grab myself 2 more. I told him good luck, have fun. He didn't say anything. So this dude is obviously an asshole. I set the Faith. And I just pass. That's all I can do. He draws into a Finrer, whatever the fuck. So he decides to run the Abyss Soldier out and swing Bada Bada. And I grab the Duo back. That's my only target. I could have got Book of Moon, but I said fuck it. He sets the Vortex and passes. I draw on the BLS. So I really don't have shit here. Can't do nothing. And I pass. I fire the Duo and pass. He draws into a Regeki Break. He gets me for 18 and just passes. I draw into Snatch Steel. So pretty good draw here. I Snatch Steel, take his monster, swing for 18. He does not Mirror Force. I should have sacked this, but I did not. I just pass. He draws into a Mother Grizzly. So he sets the Mother Grizzly and passes. I draw into a Wing Blast. I go into battle and swing into his Mother Grizzly. Gets another one. And then I decide to sack it and set the, whatchamacallit, and pass. Set the Thunder Dragon. He top decks Breaker. I decide to chain and put the Breaker back on top. So discard the Chaos Sork, because that's the dark I need. And he passes. I draw into Solemn Judgment. So I flip the Thunder Dragon. And I swing Bada Bada. And he grabs Mother Grizzly. In main phase 2, I decide just to run the BLS out here. And banish the Mother Grizzly. Set Solemn and pass. He draws into Finrer. So now he's confused. He's like, why didn't I draw Breaker? Blah, blah, blah. Breaker was on top. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, LOL. I shuffled deck. Didn't draw Breaker. No fucking shit. Because I hit the Mother Grizzly. So, fuck you. Draw your Finrer. Let's go. So, I draw on the Jar of Greed. I go into battle. Swing for 16. He takes it. I set Jar of Greed and pass. He draws into a Trap Dust Shoot now. He Lightning Vortex me, discards the Trap Dust Shoot, and I Solemn Judgment it. I say, fuck it, you got ring, you win, whatever, and he passes. I draw into Pot of Greed. I fire the Jar of Greed first, draw into a Spy, I set the Spy, and then fire Pot of Greed, because I know he's on Dust Shoot. I draw Upstart another Solemn, and then I draw Ring. So I hit him for 16. And I set, and pass. He draws into Snatch Steel. So he banishes both of these, runs the Finrer out, and he decides to try to attack my monster. It is a Spy. He takes 600, and then he passes. Could have probably killed him this turn, but I didn't. I banish the shit, and I switch one Spy. And swing, he Mirror Forces it. I say, okay, that's fine. And then I set a Spy and I pass. He draws into meta. He Snatch Steals. And this is where I got really mixed up. I rang like a dumbass. But it is what it is. So I just said, fuck it. I'll scoop. It was not a misclick. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. You got me. Go to game 2. You're playing some garbage ass shit. So it is what it is. So he got me game 1 because I misplayed. All I had to do was just solemn judgment that instead of ring. I thought I was at 32 and he was at 21. So misplays happen, you know. I'm high as shit. It happened. So game 2. He got me game 1. I set Spy, and then I discard the Thunder Dragons. I got double Thunder Dragons, Solemn, Jar, Deco, and Fate. So I set Jar and set Solemn and pass. He's got MST, Dust Shoot, Vortex, Grizzly, Levy, fucking some bullshit, pop the whole board. He sets Dust Shoot and MST and runs the Grizzly out. And I grab the Spy, end phase I Jar Agreed. And then I draw on the Graceful of the Jar Agreed, and I draw Jar Agreed. He trap dust shoots me and puts the Fate back. I say, okay, that's cool, whatever. I fire the Graceful, he says okay. I draw on the Jar Agreed, Fate, and knock. So I discard both my Thunder Dragons. I set both my Jar Agreeds in a Fate, in the knock, and I pass. He draws into Mobius here. He fires the MST. I chain Jar Agreed, draw into a Sinister. He tributes for Mobius, and I decide to solemn judgment the shit. Just say fuck it. And then he banishes 2 waters and brings the guy out where I don't draw. Sure, I don't need to draw, because I'm grabbing Graceful Charity, so what's the difference? It's all good. And he passes. So I don't draw, and I Graceful Charity into Tribe. Knock and Duo. I discard the Knock and the Sinister. I fire the Duo on his ass, leaving him with nothing. And I fire Jar Agreed and draw into a book. And I run the Tribe out, swing over that garbage ass shit, and hit him for 24. And set Book of Moon and pass. He draws into a Regeki Break, and he scoops. So on to game 3 now. Game 1 I fucked up. Game 2 I crushed him. Could have definitely beat him game 1. It would have already been over, but hey. So, game 3. He's got Heavy, Pot, Nightmare Penguin, Finra, Magic Jammer, and Legendary Ocean. So he draws Pot of Greed and draws Grizzly and Solemn. He sets the Grizzly, plays Legendary Ocean, sets Magic Jammer, and sets Solemn Judgment and passes. I got Sangin, Upstart Goblin, Torrential Ring, Deco, and Heavy. So I fire Heavy Storm. He decides to Solemn this instead of Magic Jammer. He could have just Magic Jammered the shit instead of Solemn Judgment, but hey, what do I know? Solemn Judgment's way better than Magic Jammer, so he could have just Magic Jammered there, but he didn't. So I decide to set Ring, set Torrential, and summon Sangin and pass. He flips up the Mother Grizzly here, draws into another Finra. And I decide to just ring the shit. Just say, fuck it. Ring. So it's 1600. Alright, whatever. I didn't know that. He sets Nightmare Penguin and passes. I draw into a Thunder Dragon. I run the Berserk Gorilla out here. And I discard the Thunder Dragon to grab 2 more. And I swing Bada Bada at his Nightmare Penguin. And he brings the Sangin back to my hand. Okay. He draws into Levy Dragon, Daedalus, or whatever the fuck it is. So, and then he just passes. I draw into another Berserk Gorilla, which sucks. And I have to attack with Berserk Gorilla. Says okay. I set Sangin and pass. He draws into a Mother Grizzly here. He runs the Mother Grizzly out. And swings into my Sangin, and I grab Sinister. And he passes. I draw into Graceful Charity. I fire the Graceful. Why he didn't Magic Jammer again, I have no idea. He had the Magic Jammer again, he didn't use it. Like, what the fuck is the point in playing Magic Jammer if you're not going to use it? So that was funny as shit right there. He's just sitting on a Magic Jammer. So I decide to just go into battle and hit him. He takes the 200. I didn't realize that Nightmare Penguin in the ocean. So it's cool, whatever. I set Deco and pass. He draws into a Mobius. Okay, that's cool. He sacks his Mother Grizzly for Mobius. And I say, okay, that's cool, whatever. And then he banishes 2 waters and brings out the Fenrir. Alright, that's cool again. And now he's going for damage. He hits me for 800. And he hits the Deco. I draw into Solemn. And he hits me with a Nightmare Penguin. So I probably could have just beat him next turn here. But I didn't know what his back row was, so I didn't do that. And he just passes. I can't draw because he killed a monster. I run the Berserk Gorilla out here. And I just swing over the Nightmare Penguin. Now he's at 25. I decide to main phase 2, banish the dark, banish the light, bring out BLS, banishes Mobius, set Solemn, and pass. He draws into Anti-Spell Fragrance. Okay, cool. He tributes 1 for the Leviaire Dragon bullshit, and I decided to just Solemn Judgment the fuck out of him. Get that bullshit out of here. And he drops the Fenrir on me, okay, in defense, and sets Anti-Spell Fragrance in heavy. He uses Anti-Spell Fragrance. I grab my Sinister back, I say, okay, cool. I banish the Fenrir, and I drop Tsukiyomi, putting BLS face down, and I swing Bada Bada, and that is the game. So that was a quick one, so we'll do one more in this replay, I guess. Fuck it. Let's do against this guy right here. One more replay. Alright. He got me in the rock, paper, scissors. I throw scissors, he throws rock. Awesome. Got me. Okay. He opens Wing Blast, Duo, Sangan, BLS, Chaos Orc, and Deco. I've got Chaos Orc, Spy, Deco, Solemn Judgment, and Book of Moon. So, okay. He gets rid of my Solemn, and I discard Chaos Orc. He runs out Sangan and passes. I draw a Pot of Greed. I fire the Pot of Greed into Faith and Breaker. I set Book of Moon and set Spy and pass. He draws into a Tomato. And he decides just to go right into battle here, and he hits my Spy and takes another 1,000. And he sets his Deco and passes. I draw into Chaos Orc. So I decide to set Faith and pass. He draws into a Deco. He flips his Deco and draws into a Chaos Orc. Okay. He sets his Deco. And he runs into my Faith, and I grab the Pot of Greed back. He sets the Wing Blast and passes. I draw into Thunder Dragon here. So I decide to discard the Thunder Dragon to grab 2 more. And I run Breaker out here. Tat, chill out. I pop the back row. It's a Wing Blast. He doesn't chain it. So I decide just to banish the dark, banish the light, and remove his Sangan. And I switch everything to attack. Both the Spies. I swing over the Deco. And I hit into another Deco. He draws Torrential. And then I swing for 1,200. And I pass. He draws into a Faith. He sets Torrential and Faith and passes. I in-phase Jar of Greed into a Jar of Greed. And I draw MST. So I'm going to fire the MST here. And I run Deco out, switch the Chaos Orc, and that is game. There's nothing he can do. He's flipping his Faith, looking. He's only at 4,600, so got him. Game 2. Game 2, he's got Kaiku, Tomato, Thunder Dragon, Regeki Break, Knock, and Chaos Orc. I've got Spy, Sinister, Faith, Thunder Dragon, and Wing Blast. He runs the Tomato out and sets Regeki Break and passes. I draw into Kaiku. I discard the Thunder Dragons and grab myself 2 more. And I set Wing Blast and set Spy and pass. He draws into Snatch Team. I say okay. Oh shit, it falls. Alright. He knocks my Spy. I have to banish all of them. I boarded 1 out. He's running 3. And he goes into battle. And attacks for 14. And I decide to just Wing Blast him to put him back on top of the deck. This sets him back a turn, and it gets the tomato off the board. Maybe not the best play. Maybe I could have took the 14, but I decided to do it and say fuck it. And I draw into another Wing Blast. Awesome. I get my Sinister back and decide to run the Kaiku out. And swing Bada Bada, and he decides to Regeki break the Kaiku. Okay, that's cool. He had Snatch Steal, so I don't know why he really did that. And there was nothing in his graveyard except for Spy. Except for Thunder Dragon, so that was questionable. I set the Wing Blast and pass. He draws the Tomato, which I know is. He runs his Kaiku out here. And I decide to just Wing Blast that shit too and put it back on top. And discard my Sinister. And he passes. I draw into a knock. So it's not going that great. I grab my Sinister back here. And I set the knock and set the Sinister and pass. Draws the Kaiku again. This time he runs Tomato out. And he swings over the Sinister. I say okay. And then I draw Graceful. So this is a pretty nice top deck here. I fire the Graceful into Tsukiyomi, Duo, and Knock. So I discard the Sinister and discard the Thunder Dragon. I fire the Duo right away on his ass, say fuck it. And I pick his Kaiku. And he throws out Thunder Dragon, okay. I decide to summon Tsukiyomi, put it face down, and knock the shit out of him. And I hit him for 1100. And set knock and pass. He draws into a knock, okay. Now he decides to get 0 value with this Chaos Sork here. And drop it. And he hits me for 23. I say okay, that's cool. And I draw into a Snatch Steal. So that was pretty nice. I grab my Sinister back. I fire the Snatch Steal on him. And I run Tsukiyomi out, put the Sork down, and I get in for some damage, 3,400. Putting him down to 35, and I just pass. He draws into a Tomato. He fires the Snatch Steal. Okay. And instead of summoning the Tomato, he just hits me for 23, which is questionable because, I mean, it is what it is. And he just passes. He doesn't set the Tomato. Okay. I draw into Upstart. I gain 1,000. I fire the Upstart and draw into Solemn. So that's pretty nice. I decide to run the Tsukiyomi out. Put the Sork down. And I knock the shit out of him again. And I swing for 1,100. Set Solemn and pass. He draws into Creature Swap. He runs the Tomato out, and I just Solemn Judgment. Because, I mean, there's no point to not Solemn here. I'm going to be at 2,000 anyways. I might as well just get rid of the threat. And he passes. I draw into MST, so I set the MST, set the Faith, and pass. He draws into a Book of Moon. He knocks the shit out of me. There goes my Faiths. Okay, gets rid of his too. He sets Book of Moon and passes. I in-face MST it. Then I draw into Mind Control here. So I decide to set the Mind Control and set the Sinister and pass. He draws into a Chaos Sork. So he's going to drop the Sork again on me and get 0 value. I say okay. He runs into the Sinister. Alright, that's cool. And he passes. I draw into a Sangan here. I grab the Sinister back. I fire the set Mind Control and banish the Chaos Sork, banish himself, run Sangan out, and poke him for 1,000. He sets Regeki Break and passes. I draw into a Deco. I swing Bada Bada for 1,000. And I set Deco and pass. He draws into Kaiku. He runs the Kaiku out on me. Okay, cool. And he hits into the Sangan. I'm at 900. And I grab Deco. And he passes. I draw into Solemn Judgment, which is okay, I guess. He's got a Regeki breakdown. He decides not to Regeki break. He's waiting for the Tsukiyomi. I flip the Deco and draw into a Book of Moon here. I run the Tsukiyomi out, put the shit face down, and I swing into the Kaiku. He says okay, and he has to Regeki break this. Alright, that's cool. And I set Solemn Judgment, set Book of Moon, and it is over. He scoops. So that was the games. 2 quick matches there. Y'all hit the like, hit the sub. Have a good day or night. Peace out. Bye.